It's Tuesday, August 4th, and time for your Barbados Today morning news update. 4 bars on the south coast were ordered closed and 2 party buses pulled off the road on Sunday night for breaching COVID-19 protocols. The protocols related to the wearing of masks in public spaces. Director of the COVID-19 Monitoring Unit, Ronald Chapman, said the Chill Bar in Hastings, Six Mix Bar in Worthing, and McBride's and Hal's Bar, both in St. Lawrence Gap, were previously warned about breaching the rules. In a media release, Chapman said while the protocols allowed for masks to be removed by patrons when sitting with their own groups to socialize and drink, they were mandatory when people were walking around establishments for any other reason. The party buses, meantime, drove into St. Lawrence Gap, and patrons were observed without masks and close together. Chapman made it clear that surveillance will continue and any business caught breaching the protocols face the possibility of closure. The Ministry of Tourism has added a new category of countries for travelers in its protocols called the Bubble. They include St. Lucia, St. Kitts and Nevis, Grenada, Dominica, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. As of Wednesday, August 5th, persons from these countries who have not traveled to or transited through any country designated as high, medium, or low risk within 21 days prior to coming to Barbados will not be required to take a COVID-19 PCR test. However, in its updated protocols, the ministry said persons from within the bubble must wear masks while at the Grancy Adams International Airport, and all travelers must undergo a health screen. Those persons who are deemed to have been in close contact with a positive COVID case will be quarantined at approved facilities. The Walk Holy Band took to the streets yesterday morning, even though Grand Kadooment Day 2020 had been cancelled. Band members traveled from the National Stadium to the roundabout at the bottom of University Hill, delivering food hampers to members of the public. Band leader Kathy Weeks said the initiative was a partnership between her band and Praise Academy of Dance.
We were able to give some food supplies and also snacks to the children. As you know, the children are on vacation. So we were able to bless the people at both from the household perspective, and then for the children running around and having to have some snacks to eat. And I think our very presence alone was, put a smile on people's faces as some of them were even dancing on the road. And basically it was a pleasure to be there, and I think the people welcome us as they have expressed from what we were hearing on the road.
The declaration of results for Guyana's regional and general elections and the swearing in of a new president has brought to an end one of the low points in Caribbean democracy. That's according to noted political scientist Peter Wickham, who also congratulated the new government on its victory in the March 2nd polls. 40-year-old Dr. Irfan Ali was sworn in as the 9th president of Guyana on Sunday.
Yeah, I think right across the region there is a collective sigh of relief at the fact that Guyana has a new president, and certainly one has to congratulate Dr. Irfan Ali at 40 years old to have been sworn in as president of Guyana after this very protracted period of time. The question is, what lessons have we learned as a region from it? I think it was certainly a low point in terms of Caribbean democracy, that this matter had to meander all the way through all of these courts, all the way up to the CCJ, and for resolution to come only after several months. At the same time, however, there are some important lessons that have been learned. We've had clarity from the CCJ regarding the way in which votes are to be treated, the definition of valid votes, and so on. We've had clarity regarding the role of a chief elections officer or supervisor of election, as the case may be, and the extent to which that officer is also subject to the chairman or subject to the commission, GCOM in that case. But certainly I would think that in other Caribbean countries, the elections commissions would treat to the officers in much the same way.
Wickham says he hopes the new government will focus on unity in order for the country to heal.
If there's a bright spot, I would say it would be the fact that there has been a triumph of democracy. that CARICOM has engaged positively, and that the CARICOM supervised recount ultimately was the one that resulted in a resolution of the issue, that the Caribbean Court of Justice performed quickly and also in a very outstanding way to bring clarity to the legal issues involved. And these were also consistent with the local courts in Guyana. So I would say that those are some of the bright points, but I still feel that sadly this has been one of our low points in Caribbean democracy, and we're all happy that it's finally at an end. So congratulations to the new government of Guyana, and I wish them well. I hope that they do not pursue a series of witch hunts, that they focus on unity, bringing the country together and healing the wounds that have been created over the past few months.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To news from the region, a national lockdown will take effect in the Bahamas today from 10 p.m. due to a significant increase in COVID-19 cases. Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis, in an address to the nation on Monday, said the lockdown will remain in place for at least 2 weeks.
I wish to stress that our ICU beds are at capacity and that non-critical care beds are approaching capacity. Today, health officials reported 31 new confirmed cases, 22 in Grand Bahama and 9 on New Providence, for a total of 679 confirmed cases. An increase in the number of cases is expected before the current surge is brought under control. The Ministry of Health will provide further details during their regular updates to the public. Therefore, fellow Bahamians and residents, acting on the advice of health officials, I am announcing today a national lockdown for the entire country.
And finally, with over 18 million COVID-19 cases globally and some 689,000 deaths, the head of the World Health Organization delivered further grim news on Monday, saying that while there is hope for a vaccine against the virus, one might never be found. And he's urging people around the world to comply with measures such as social distancing, hand washing, and mask wearing.
A number of vaccines are now in phase 3 clinical trials, and we all hope to have a number of effective vaccines that can help prevent people from infection. However, there is no silver bullet at the moment, and there might never be. For now, stopping outbreaks comes down to the basics of public health and disease control: testing, isolating, and treating patients, and tracing and quarantining their contacts. Do it all. Inform, empower, and listen to communities. Do it all.
That's news. But for the very latest, visit us at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.